Good. So I've started recording the second part. Let me remind everyone that we are doing just we're covering the format of the World Scholars Cup, and I'm telling you what you can expect. Sarah, you have a question.
Yes, about the debates. On the awards, do you get like medals like for yourself, or do you get it based off your team?
Good. Both. You will get medals based on your individual performance and both on your team performance. And I have to be frank about this. Uh, One thing that I don't like about the competition is that they give a lot of medals, and expect that everyone will get a lot of medals, a lot of certificates. It's something that bothers me because I think that the winners should stand out from the crowd. uh, but I want you to be motivated by yourselves and by my expectations, because this is the best we've ever been prepared for a competition like this. We started preparing for the competition last year when it got canceled, so we've had an extra year to get better, and I think that I'm very happy with what we've done. So in the previous video, I talked about the debate team event. Now I'll continue with the others. The other one that is probably the most important to me as a teacher is the collaborative writing. For the collaborative writing, they will give you a sheet of paper, so it's done by hand. I hope you have a good handwriting, because otherwise it might be illegible for the judges. um, and when you go there, it will be a specific classroom. You will be given six different prompts, six different topics, and each topic is relevant for one of the subjects, because you know that we have six subjects and you get six topics for writing. You are only given that thing, which means that you are not given instructions to write an essay or a story or whatever. You can do whatever you want in order to get your message across. So if you feel that your topic is more suitable for an essay, write an essay. If you have a knack for writing stories, write a story. If you want to test yourself by writing a poem, write a poem. Um, there is a video on the channel on how to write a poem and how to write a story. You can find all the tips over there. For the eighth graders and ninth graders who are going to join the competition, they can also write an essay. This year we've been working on opinion essays, so or a five-paragraph essay. That's a suitable medium as well. Let me just finish explaining this team event, and then I'll let you ask questions, because I'll forget. I'm an old person. I've started forgetting. I had to connect myself to the mothership. You see the cable over there? It's what gives me creativity today. And one of the most important things is that no two people may choose the same topic. So you have to think things through carefully. So if, let's say, Luca over here, who is first on my screen, likes the first topic, which is connected to the science subject, August won't be able to do that, or Marco won't be able to choose that one. So the whole team covers only three topics, and all of them are different. You have the scoring criteria, or the scoring sheet over here, and to a certain extent, it follows the criteria for the debate. There are three main sections, four actually. There's clarity, content, style, and originality. Uh, if you really want to be specific about this, you could think of the text as a written speech. Whatever you would do at a debate, in a debate, now you do on paper. You follow the same rules. You need to have organization, you need to have topic development, you need to use a variety of grammar, ideas, and vocabulary. All of that comes into play here as well. I'll go through every section individually. In terms of clarity, how easy was the paper to read and understand? So when the judge takes your text for assessment, they don't want to read some kind of a puzzle, like a math equation. No, it needs to be legible and it needs to be easy to understand. There needs to
So,
be
teacher,
a good, just a second, Marco, please. There needs to be a good organization in terms of beginning, middle, and end. Of course, if you are feeling really creative, you could start with the end and shift things around. It sounds a bit risky, but people need to be able to trace the flow of ideas. You need to minimize the errors in grammar, vocabulary, syntax, and spelling. Uh, try your best over there. I know that most of you are using all sorts of software, and there's auto check on most of the platforms you're using. You will not have that over here. So try to make things easier for the people, because there will be people coming from the USA, and it will be quite apparent to them. Because me being a non-native speaker of English, I might not. I might not consider or find some mistakes. The Americans will. The last one is, did the writer understand the prompt and help the reader understand it too? So you need to stay within the frame of the topic. Don't, if the topic is about science and about how man affects nature, don't start writing about I don't know, how white the wall is or something. Next one, content. Your ideas and facts which are presented in the text need to be relevant, and they need to be thought provoking. They should really interest the listener. He should go like, ah, okay, she's got the point. Nice, I like this. Did the conclusions drawn from the content make sense? It needs to make sense. Obviously, there's no need to even elaborate on this sentence. And the last one is, pay attention to this one. Did the writer effectively draw on knowledge of the World Scholars Cup subjects? When I was preparing the lessons every Friday, I was very careful to choose the most important parts of the curriculum. So if you just watch the videos on the channel, you should be okay. If they ask you anything to do with art, you can use the Notre Dame, you can use Monkey Jesus, you can use the Last Supper. You have enough to work with. If they ask you a question about social sciences, you can talk about the difference between fads and trends. You can talk about dangerous trends like the fidget spinners or the cinnamon challenge and all of that. There is enough material to work with. That's why watch the videos, but don't just watch them. While watching, open your notebook and start taking notes, or at least write a summary for every video. That will help you immensely. Next one, style. Did the paper style and use of language make it more engaging? I have to say that when we were writing the stories, there were two stories that really blew my mind. They were really good, and I have high expectations from those people. You know who I'm talking about. Number two, was the writer's vocabulary varied and vibrant? You need to use the whole range of English. Don't just stick with two words. I can make a whole story just by using the word furniture. In my new apartment, I bought new furniture. The furniture was quite expensive, but everyone liked it. The furniture was quite old because it belonged to a dead person, but I bought it for a lot of money. And the furniture really matched the walls. No, don't do that. Don't just repeat furniture 10 times in the same sentence or in the same text. Try to spice things up by using cushions, sofa, the seating area, the whatever. Do that. No, number three, did the writer seem excited to be writing the paper, and did you enjoy reading it? You need to draw the reader. You can even ask direct questions. You can say, like, have you ever wondered why, blah, blah, blah. When you ask, have you ever wondered, the judge will be drawn to the text and they'll want to know more. The last one is originality. Did the paper provide a unique perspective on the prompt? Don't use generic ideas, something that you could find on every website. Try to use the website as a source, as a basis, and then try to make it look your own. Number two, did the writer have a memorable voice or approach? I think that you may be too young to know what this means. And it has to do with you adopting a unique writing style. I think that the closest example I could give you to this is that you have about 10 teachers, everyone has a different style. Communication and giving these examples are my personal style. So when you become aware of your writing style, you have the opportunity to improve it further because you are aware about it, and you can say, aha, okay, this is what I don't like about my style. I will change it. And the last one is, was it the kind of paper you wanted to tell someone else about afterward? When you finish watching a really good TV series or when you finish reading a book, if it impressed you, you want to share that information with your peers or with your family. So the text that you write should be something that good that people would be like, ooh, I have to show this to my friends. So as you can see, there are a lot of criteria that you have to be careful about. Uh, do not let these criteria stifle you. Uh, uh, just try to have fun. Try to enjoy the competition and try to do your best. Because if you're not having fun, then we're doing something wrong. I know that maybe because we've been having these lessons and you know how enthusiastic I am, maybe I've put some pressure that everyone has to be perfect. Those are not the expectations. My greatest expectations at this point are for you to have fun. I know how difficult online education has been this year. It's like the mentors sucking all your energy. I know I feel that way. So I'll be the happiest teacher in the world if you just come, smile, make friends, and enjoy all the team events. Do that, and all the lessons will be worth it. Any questions about the writing part?
Yes, I have one.
Yes, Marco.
Yes.
So every member of the team writes a different text, or do we all write together?
Everyone writes a different separate text,
Yes.
yes. But Marco, at the beginning, you have 15 minutes to brainstorm ideas with your friends. That's why it's called collaborative writing. So if you're working with Adea and Delfina, you'll be able to say, oh, maybe you should do research in this direction. Oh, I've read this, maybe research this, and then you'll be able to compare the texts. There are four
Does
people.
everyone get and does everyone get a different topic
Yes,
or
everyone gets it.
I have
There
a
is a list of 6 topics, and you choose who gets what.
teacher. I have a question.
There are 4 people who have raised their hands. Let me
Mm-hmm.
start with the first one. Doncho, you're first. Doncho, do you have a question? Doncho does not have a question. Yana, you're next.
Oh, wait, sorry, I was in mute.
Yana?
Do you hear me?
Uh, Barely. Can you speak directly in the microphone?
Okay, so my question is, are we allowed, if we're writing a poem, are we allowed to use one of the websites that we used on class for
Absolutely.
rhymes?
Absolutely. You are allowed to use whatever you want because you have your mobile phone in front of you and you have the notebooks with all your notes there. So the
Okay.
better you prepare at home, the easier the competition will be because you'll just assemble everything together.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher, I have a question real
Yes,
quick.
Sarah.
About the tests. Are we allowed to have notebooks next to us or no?
No, for the tests, no.
Okay.
Irem, you have a question? Irem,
Teacher, is there a word limit?
there is no word limit, although a really good text is not longer than 2 pages.
Okay, thank you.
Teacher, I have.
Simona has raised her hand. Simona?
Okay. Do we? What is our time limit?
The time limit, that's a good question. You have an hour to finish the whole thing.
Okay.
An hour is plenty of time. Don't
Teacher,
joke.
I have one more
Wait,
question.
there are other people who have raised
Okay,
their
okay,
hand.
it's
Don't
okay.
joke.
They can go first.
Teacher, when you said the judge, when the judge
Yes,
is when the judge is reading the text,
yes.
and if he's enjoying it,
Mhm.
oh, I messed up.
Think about it. Think about your question and let me know after this because there are other people who have raised their hands. Hannah?
Does the topic that we choose for the essay have to be connected to the topic that we chose before the competition?
That's a good question, Hannah. I knew that there was someone going to ask this question. I think that you're thinking with the mindset for Olympia, because for Olympia, which is a very difficult name to pronounce, every student had to choose only one subject. For the Scholars Cup, you're expected to cover all the subjects. You don't choose just one, you need to know all six. However, that's impossible to do because there's so much material that even a high school student wouldn't be able to finish. In this group over here, we have fifth graders, sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders, and you are definitely not expected to. I mean, no one expects that you will cover all of that. When I talked to Daniel, the organizer, I told him that. I said, hey, listen, maybe you should come up with a different set of questions for the junior division. And he said, listen, that would be very difficult to do. But what we wanted to give students is just a sense of direction. So before they go to bed, they can just read one article. The following day, maybe they can read another one. So this should not be forced. It's not something that you can do in one weekend. That's why we've been preparing for the whole year. Did I answer your question, Hannah?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
Marco?
ask now?
Yes, Marco?
So for the collaborative writing and also for other topics, if we will need to take notes, should we take the notebooks and paper from our homes, or will they give it to
Please
us
do.
there?
Please do. They will give you another sheet, but you can bring your notebook. And this thing over here, draw on knowledge on the World Scholars Cup subject. You cannot do that if you don't bring your notes in the notebook from the resources that we have covered. So you should do that. I strongly advise that you do that. Let me move on to the others. Alexander has a question.
Will you put links of these rules and stuff
All
on
these
the
videos
rules?
have been uploaded on my channel. I will add you in the group for the Scholars Cup, and you'll find it over there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me
Can
continue.
you
Yes, Simona.
add us two to the group for Scholars Cup?
It could get messy, but all right. Okay, we can do that. I think you have a group with teacher Tatanka, don't you?
Yeah.
Well.
Yes, but just for debating.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me think about it.
Teacher, and I have.
Yes, don't you last question because I have to move on with the other two subjects. Not subjects, team events.
Because the competition is getting closer and closer every day.
Mhm.
Are we going to have 2 classes a day?
No. What I can do though is record videos for the things that we need to catch up with, and you'll be able to watch them. We'll have one more lesson next Friday on the 11th, and that will be it. Now, let me continue. Those were the criteria for the team debate and the collaborative writing. If you're asking me as a teacher, I mostly care about these two events. Because we've paid a lot of attention to debating and writing, and the others, I'm not saying that they're not important, but in my books, not as important as the former two. Then let me explain what the Scholars Challenge is. The Scholars Challenge is a multiple choice quiz that you take individually. However, here you're not allowed to bring your notebook, and you're not allowed to bring your device. So you will have to turn off your mobile phone. Because it would be really easy if you have access to all the resources. There will be 100 questions connected to the subjects on the website. There's an interesting option for you over there. You don't have to choose only one answer. So if you're not sure, you can circle 2 or 3 answers, but the problem is that the more points you circle, the less points you get. Which means that if you are certain about the answer, just circle that one thing and don't bother about the others.
Teacher, I can circle all 4 answers.
You can circle all for your 4 answers, yes.
Like all the answers. If there's 4 choices, I can circle all of them.
You could do that. Potentially you could do that, but I don't advise doing that. Probably the best advice I could give you is to trust your gut. We have spent extensive hours talking about the subjects, and you already have an idea about the basis of it. The most important thing at the moment, I suppose, are the introductory questions. They should give us a sense of direction of what the questions will be like. The Scholars Challenge is done on a sheet of paper. You will be seated uh, um, um, separated from your team, so you will be working alone.
Teacher, can I ask something?
Yes.
Like at the test for the
Yes.
debates at 14th and 15th,
Yes.
like they will give us a topic and we will debate about it.
You will debate on it 3 times. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
But how many topics will there be?
There will be 3 topics for each debate.
Okay, so we
Yep.
will do 3 debates.
That's right.
Teacher, I have a question as well. It's connected to the debate.
Yes.
We debate 3 times, right?
Yes.
Now, do we get the same topic 3 times or do we get different topics?
You get different topics.
Okay.
Things will be very interesting, and usually the topics are not everyday topics. You will not get something like Zeus should be banned or not. You will not get social media is good for society or not. They will be challenging. They will be food for thought. You will have to think creatively about them. Let me just finish with the last one, and then I'll let you ask more questions. The last one is the Scholars Bowl. Now, this is where things get really exciting because this is the only activity that takes place at the special venue. And every team will be given a clicker, like a remote control. And all the questions will be presented on a huge screen. And it is timed. You have 15 seconds to answer every single question. And you'll have to think outside the box to get all of them right. They're not going to be simple answers like, what did you read about this and that? No, they will ask you to compare things. They will ask you, there will be puns. And I think that everyone will find it really enjoyable. There are 5 different sections, I think. The first section doesn't bring a lot of points. I think that each question amounts to about 500 points. And in the last fifth section, every question brings about 5,000 points or something like that. So even if you don't get the first questions right, you always have a chance to be the top scholar if you do well on the other ones. There is a lot of commotion during this event because there are some strategists, there are people who yell out the wrong answer to bait you into choosing that one. So if the question presented on the screen should be answered under B, someone would say, A, A, and everyone starts pressing A. You could do that, of course, but you don't have to rush it. You're not competing against the opponents, you're competing against the clock. So you're competing against the 15 seconds. If you just stay cool, you'll be able to answer all the questions. And what's interesting is that the final section allows you to gamble. So you can take your points, you can bet that you know your answer, and if you the more you bet, the more you earn. Now there has been an infamous example in our school. Hannah's brother Vedran. Vedran was in a team with who was he? He was in a team with Jan and Pavlos, and they were about to finish first because they had really studied and they were really good debaters, really good people as well. I love all 3 of them. And then for the final question, I think that they bet 50% of their points worth, and they didn't get it right. So they were eventually they turned out to be the 3rd best team, not the first one. So it is dangerous, but it gets your blood boiling when you
I
have that
remember
opportunity.
I came home with all the medals and a bunch of plushies.
Right. Oh yes.
So
Oh,
what?
I forgot to say that. In the at this venue, the National Philharmonic, you will be given plushies as well. World Scholars Cup alpaca. I don't know if you've been to my office. I have two alpacas. Um,
Teacher,
Yeah. So this week,
teacher, I have a
Did we
question.
all
Teacher.
get some?
just a second,
Yeah,
Amaya.
we
Just a second. Just a
we
second. So everyone will get one of these small alpacas. Those are given to regional rounds. The one in Skopje is a local regional round. And if you decide to go to a global round, you get one of these, the big ones. They're called Jerry. I have a blue one, and I have two small alpacas. I have a light blue and a yellow one. And there's one huge one, which is called Skittle. It looks like a rainbow. Look at this. It looks like a mutant alpaca. Look how big this is. Uh, and you could even ride it, I think.
Teacher,
Uh,
how much? What do you have to do to get the big back?
what do you have to do to get the big alpaca? You have to qualify for the global round. Uh, I didn't speak about that.
how do you
Now
qualify?
let me tell you what that means.
Teacher,
So at the
can
local
I?
round, just a second. At the local round, if you manage to pass a threshold of points, you can qualify for a global round. The only global round I've attended was 2 years ago at in The Hague in the Netherlands, and it was mm, it's very difficult to explain it with words. It was such a unique experience. It's like Disneyland for students. There were 1,400 people from 51 countries in the world, and our team, the Macedonian team, won against Nepal and Kenya and lost against the Netherlands in a debate. And we managed to get two gold medals. One of them was for creative writing, for collaborative writing, and I forgot what the other one was. And there's a culture fair. It's the first time I tried dried worms. There were which country was it? Because there's like a culture fair, and every country brings something unique. I may be able to show those. I may be able to show those. Let me find them. Um, Photos, but that's something that comes later. It's not something that we should
Teacher,
discuss now. Yes, yes. Can I help
Do
you?
you know who are
teacher,
going
can
to be the judges?
Ah, the judges. Okay, let me say something about the judges as well. Some of the teachers in our school will be judges. However, there will be teachers from other schools as well. Every school has the opportunity to send their own delegation, to send their own teams, and the person who sends the teams is usually a judge as well. They're very careful not to let your teachers judge your debates. So you will be judged by people that you don't know. It will be transparent.
teacher, one question.
Yes, Mark.
So, what do we need to bring? Like, you told us about phones and notes, but what about like food and stuff like that? Because we're going to be 10 hours there.
You will be given an afternoon meal, lunch, both days. But maybe you should bring like a bottle of water to hydrate. And so bring that, a bottle of water to hydrate.
Should
Bring
we
your
should we
phone and
bring
bring your notebook. I think that's about
should
it.
should we bring it like? Can we bring it in a like a bag or something?
Sure. Come, you need to come with a backpack because they will give you
Yes,
certain
yes.
materials. They will give you notebooks, maybe. They will give you the plushie as well. And I think that the safest option is to come with a backpack or some kind of a bag.
Yes,
Uh,
okay.
Teacher, can I ask something too?
yes.
So we do the test, then we go to the competition, and then if we like win, we will go to the global rounds.
You qualify for the global rounds. This year, I don't know where the global rounds are going to take place. Every year, there are at least six different places. This year they mentioned that Dubai would be one of them. So if you qualify for Dubai, we could go there, but I have to say that it's quite expensive. Let's not talk about the global rounds now. That's a conversation for another time. What we need to do now is focus on the local round, try to have fun, beat the opponents, and yeah, just do try to have a good time, I would say. Questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Do you have to get a medal or an award at the local round to go on the global round, or you just have to get first place or something?
Um, I think that about 30% of the participants qualify for a global round. Uh, I'm not sure. I'll have to check. And one last thing that I wanted to talk about is that the initial plans last year were to let 500 students take part in the competition. However, you know what happened with the COVID pandemic, and now there are special protocols that we need to follow. So we expect about 200 people to join us. Now, what that means is that the organizers had to increase the price to break even. So the registration fee for each person is 1,250 dinars, which is 20
Teacher?
euros.
Are we allowed to take off our masks during the debate so we can
No, no,
speak and
no.
like
You have to have your masks on at all times.
Teacher, I have a question about the medals.
Yes.
Like whoever takes a part of the competition gets a medal, or like
No,
the
no.
first third teams?
It depends how successful you were in the team events. Not everyone gets a medal. No.
Okay.
There are people.
And
We
is
have
there a list? And teacher, is there a list like first, second, third
Yes,
team?
yes. At the award ceremony, they will give you a list of all the rankings.
Yeah, okay.
Sarah, you had a question?
Yes.
In the national
Is it that
right?
for every, like for example, every medal you get a certificate, or is it you get one
You
certificate?
get one certificate with all your accomplishments there. They look
Okay.
really cool, and they will come in handy when you are enrolling to high school. You might try to get a scholarship or something with those, because in order for you to get in a good university after that, or in a high school, you can get a teacher recommendation, and those are things that would fit a teacher recommendation really well. Because I've written a few, and I always say that this person had exceptional had an exceptional success and performance at global rounds of international competitions, and so on and so on. Yana,
Teacher?
Yana has a question. Yana,
which one?
you.
Oh, yeah. I asked my mom if any like popular schools, like Ivy schools, from America, um, are like the hosts for the Scholars Cup, and apparently Yale is the
Yes, I was
host.
going to talk about that as well. So there are three different levels. The first one is the local round, which is going to take place in Skopje, and they organize such local rounds all over the world. The qualifiers from the local rounds go to the global rounds, and only the winners, the top 5 people, have the opportunity to go to the Tournament of Champions. That's what they call it, Tournament of Champions, which takes place at Yale University in the USA, and it lasts for about 2 weeks.
Teacher, in which city is the Yale University?
August, we're not going to go there very soon because we need to be very ready to go there. And I don't think that high school, I don't think that elementary school students should go there. That's more suitable for high school students.
That's not fair.
Don't you? Question? Okay, I suppose that's about it. I
Teacher,
think that it would be a good idea to organize some debates as well next week. I'll see what I can do. Yes, Don
Teacher,
Cho.
what is this emu wave, penguin wave?
It's just the name for the category. They want to clarify things a bit better when they're assessing, when they're judging the collaborative writing
And
essays.
we're going to debate on 14.
Doncho, you are definitely a junior, so you have to come on the 14th in our school, and at the National Philharmonic on the 16th. Yes.
Teacher, like Luca, Alec, and me, are we in junior or
You're
senior?
junior. You
Okay.
are junior. Yes. So let me just remind you one more time. This is the preview schedule. The final one is to be announced. There are 4 different events. Don't interrupt me, please. There are 4 different events. I tried to explain each one of them in detail by focusing on the criteria. Uh, the, the thing that you should do now is to watch the videos on the channel and take notes in your notebook. If you do that, you will be able to do well at the competition. Yes, that's it. Questions?
Teacher, yes, I have a question. Are you supposed to be 14 or turning 14 this year to go to senior?
I think that anyone born before the 1st of June.
Because
what
I'm
is-
turning 14 this year, yes. But I'm not 14, yes, yet.
Yeah, same question. Me and Lara were both already 14, so we're in the older group.
Yana, when is your birthday?
2nd of February. Lara
think-
is also in February.
I think that you'll be in the senior division, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Beating
Okay.
high school students, that's so amazing. What are you talking about?
It is, but is it gonna happen?
It is going to happen. And if it does happen, if you win all 3 debates, I don't know, I'll take your team out for pizza. Seriously. Not just yours.
I mean,
Whoever
really
beats the high
cool,
school
but
students.
who's going from our school from the high school students?
I think that David, who was in David's team? I forgot.
David from my class.
Oh, it's you, David, and Lara. Right?
Yeah.
So you're seniors.
Oh god. Okay.
Well, that's about it. I have recorded these 2 lessons. I will upload them. If you have forgotten anything, because I've been talking for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's perfectly normal for you to miss one or 2 things. You can rewatch it and just find answers to your questions. All of the videos are very important, but try to focus on the one where it says a well-written debate speech. That will help you a lot because it is a final product. It's what you should be striving to achieve. Less than 1 minute. Thank you for joining today, and I'll see you next time. All right?
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Goodbye.